Thanks for joining us for another Kickstarter conniption. Today we're looking at FunkiFruit from Clever Unicorn and Wall Capital Games.
And as always, we want to make sure you're aware that our Kickstarter conniption videos are sponsored in part by our Kickstarter backers and by the creators of this game. Hey guys, and thanks for joining us at Tantrum House Studio 3. I'm Will Meadows.
And I'm Sara Meadows, and today we're looking at a Kickstarter prototype of the game FunkiFruit. It's from designers Stephen McLaughlin, Patrick Wall, and Chris Winterborn, and art is from Giovanni Spadaro.
This is a set collection card game for 2 to 5 players. It takes about 5 minutes to set up and 20 minutes to play. We were able to get our hands on a prototype copy of the game, so let's take a look at how it's played.
In FunkiFruit, players will be attempting to collect the most valuable assortment of fruit cards.
To set up the game, give each player their basket and reference card, and then follow the instructions for setting up your deck based on your player count.
You'll get to choose from a number of different funky combinations. Then you'll toss in some action cards, weather cards, some spoilt cards, and the dreaded swarm cards.
Mix the final swarm card into the last 6 cards of the deck, establish your discard piles, and then you're ready to begin.
On your turn, you'll take an ABC set of actions. First, you can play an action card from your hand.
Next, you can place up to 2 cards total into your basket.
And finally, you'll draw cards off the draw or discard pile.
You can only ever have 10 cards in your possession total.
When the final swarm card is drawn, the game ends, and players will reveal their cards, tally their scores, and determine the winner of FunkiFruit.
In FunkiFruit, players act as greedy explorers who have discovered a secret island where the sun is literally smiling at them. They can only contain 10 of these fruit, though, to bring back and show off, so they're going to be using their action cards to try and thwart one another's activities in order to hopefully bring back the most valuable collection of produce.
In the game, you will be taking those ABC actions, and you will come across several different types of cards in the deck depending on how you set up the deck. There is a little menu on the back of the rule book that tells you what type of items to add to your deck so that you have a balanced game depending on your player count. So you can change it up each time that you play so that you have a different experience.
Yeah, primarily the cards are going to award you points for set collections, so you may get a bunch of different apples, and the more apples you get, the more points you'll get for them. Some of the cards will just be worth straight up points. Watermelons will grant you 10 points each time. Some of the cards, like the passion fruit, will allow you to gain points at the end, or you can actually play them during the game to thwart other people's actions.
Yeah, those action cards can do a variety of things, like steal cards from other players, or be able to draw several cards off the deck, or even dig through the discard pile. As
you're playing throughout the course of the game, the swarm cards are going to come up, and they are bad. You don't want them. They're usually going to change, make little discard cards, or maybe even flip the game upside down to where you didn't want those spoilt negative cards earlier in the game, but now if you don't have one, you're going to lose points. So you kind of have to react to those as they come out, and then when that last one comes out, it's going to trigger the end of the game. Whatever's in your hand and in your basket is what you're going to score.
Yeah, and that basket you can only hold 2 cards in, and so you'll need to kind of swap out occasionally if you find something that's more valuable or a set that you really want to keep together and not break up.
The artwork for the game features all kinds of crazy, funky illustrations. If you want to see what the actual gameplay looks like, we also have a playthrough on our channel that you can check out. Be sure to check out their Kickstarter campaign because this is just a prototype version. I know that in talks with the designers, they've added some new, illustrations to the menu to help you with the setup. They've added some new iconography to the cards and things. So if it looks like your type of game, if you enjoy games like Sushi Go or Sushi Go Party, then definitely check out their campaign, see what they've added, see what it looks like in that final one, and then check out our playthrough to see how it's played. As always, thanks so much for joining us, following along, liking, and commenting on our videos here at Tantrum House. Good?
Yeah,
Anything else you want to say?
That was actually really good. Yeah, FunkiFruit from McLaughlin, Patrick Wall.
A lot of names. In FunkiFruit, players act as greedy explorers who do have a. And so they'll be using their anger. They'll be using their anger to thwart other players. Okay.
Wow.
To try and thwart each other's activities, hoping to bring back the most valuable assortment of tropical produce. Produce is a good word.
Produce, yeah.
Oh, so close.